super difficult to I was in the gym and I was listening to this podcast with the FBG Duck. His mom, talking about losing her children to the streets. And so, definitely my condolences if you've ever lost a child or a loved one, to streets, to gun violence, to gang violence. Um, but I was listening to a lot of the podcasts that were surrounding certain situations or whatever case it be. So I felt like, I felt compelled to give some commentary about it. Um, this is going to be tough love. Okay. Just to give you a disclaimer right off the bat. It's amazing to me how there are no protests, there are no videos, there are no tweets. There's nothing to advocate if your child is a thug, a gang member, a criminal, an abuser. There's nothing to advocate to stop. There's nothing to advocate. Get out the streets. Stop killing one another. Stop going down the path that you're on. There is no videos. There's nothing loud and boisterous. There's no conviction to stop. It's almost like your child has a license to go kill other people. Your child has a license to go do whatever they want to do in the streets. But the second those same streets get them, now it's an outcry. People kind of confuse me because we talk about, men being set up in the system. We talk about men not getting fair trials, et cetera, et cetera. And here's the thought process. If you know that your son or daughter is out in the streets and they're involved in gang activity or whatever case to be, what's killing me now is the fact that people are saying free this person and free that person and free this person, but you know for a fact that they was in the streets killing other people. Salute, good morning, good morning. You know that they was in the streets doing violence towards other people. Like I don't know if I was a father or if I was a father of someone that was in the streets committing acts of violence, going on social media, the Instagram showing their guns, smoking weed and doing all of these things. I don't know if I would then turn around and be like, they killed my son. Like I don't know. Of course I would feel a certain type of way. Of course I would want justice, but the thought process is like, why didn't you want to make sure your son wasn't in that predicament? Like, why didn't you tell him or her to leave the streets? And that's always baffled me, because it's like we do the bare minimum when we know for a fact our children are doing wrong. We do the bare minimum. And it's burning me up, because the thought process is you could have prevented somebody else's child from dying. You could have prevented your child from dying by doing more. But it's like we're glorifying the streets to the extent of, well, I can sacrifice a few kids. It's cool. And it's like we're not upset enough. I listened to FBG Duck's mom talk about, her sons being taken by the streets. Like, these are at different times. And my thought process is like, how many kids do you have to lose to say, well, hold on, maybe I need to rethink this strategy. Like, maybe I need to refocus on what it is that I'm focusing on. I don't know if I would want any of my children to be sacrificed to the streets. And I understand that some people saying, well, you can't control what your children do outside your home, etc. And I get it, man. But what's so crazy to me is I feel like your protest to bring people to justice for the killing of your children should be the same protest prior to your children dying, because they were out there doing that killing. They were out there committing that violence. They were, here's the thing, people are dying. These rappers are dying. None of these rappers have went out glorious. Let's just keep it real. None of these rappers have went out glorious in a blaze of glory. All of them got caught slipping. All of them got caught slipping. King Von, Motree, Pop Smoke. All of these rappers that talked about having the most guns, the most women, the most drugs, living their best life, rapped about this, rapped about that. All of them got caught slipping. Nothing glorious, nothing magnificent about it. They didn't go out and say, oh, I took 3 ops with me. No ops, just you. And that's still not enough to convince us, like, bro, we need to have better conversations. And the thing about it is, you know, you see your sons and you see your daughters, you know, you have people that rise up to a certain celebrity status promoting a certain thing. And it's the thing about it is you talk about what you're going to die behind, what's going to put you in position to be harmed or violate someone else. It's a hot girl summer, so okay, these hot girls gonna be around these thugs, and we expect black women to be protected after they put themselves in this bad position, right? We out 1, 2 o'clock in the morning, we twerking, we smoking, we driving crazy, we on the road, and we just ready for something to pop off. And you with guys that don't give a shit. That's not gonna use no common sense that says, okay, well, you wearing the color blue, so I'm gonna shoot at you. You wearing the color red, so I'm gonna shoot at you. Oh, you from the north side, so I'm gonna shoot at you. You from the west end, so I'm gonna shoot at you. You from this borough, you from this ward. It's like, bruh, it's like, I'm just trying to go out and have a good time. And the issue is, this is the issue. The issue is that innocent bystanders are being killed by other people's foolery. So I want to ask Mama Duck. I want to ask HassanCampbell. I want to ask the R.Kelly sympathizers, because it's a lot of conversation. It's a lot of different conversation going on. It's a lot of people in uproar. Free R.Kelly. He was set up. FBG Duck, he was a real one. And I'm just like, man, it's like, you know, it's so funny, man. How many people have died? First of all, how many people have been locked up and they ain't do nothing wrong? They was in the wrong place at the wrong time. It wasn't no R. Kelly conspiracy, you know what I'm saying? It wasn't no surviving R. Kelly. It was they were just in the wrong place at the wrong time, and they got locked up, and they've been locked up for years. I listen to those documentaries like that. I see the agencies that are working to free all of these people that got locked up, both men and women, that are like super free, that really don't have anything to do with underage girls or the question of, or none of that stuff right there. It's like there's no major protest for that. There's no protest for that. Like, I get it. R. Kelly is one man and he's done some great things as an artist or whatever case may be. And of course, you know what I'm saying? If you feel like the trial was a setup, et cetera, yes, of course, free him. Okay, got it. We got that part. I'm saying, why isn't there the same amount of energy for the people that have nothing to do with underage girls or never really been, really they just innocent and they locked up, but they don't have the money to get out. And for some reason, nobody cares about that. Nobody, like, there's no outcry. Like, I'm telling you right now, through the internet, I've met, I want to say at least 10 solid. And when I say 10 solid, these are people that really advocate for R. Kelly. Like, they're really passionate about it or whatever. And salute to them. I've met at least 10 people that say, you know, he deserves to be locked up. And salute to them. You know, everybody's entitled to their opinion and their perspective. But my thought process is, none of these people are advocating for the people that have been caught up in the system, that didn't have money for a lawyer, that decided, okay, well, I'm just going to take what they give me or whatever, this 3 to 5 or whatever. And then they go into jail. And even though they wasn't savages before they went in, now they're institutionalized. So when they get out, they have no place to stay. Their family members done left. Their kids done grew up. They have no real job skills or whatever. And they've learned how to become a career criminal. Nobody's advocating that they have a place to stay. Nobody's advocating that they get rehabilitated. Nobody's advocating for their innocence. So my thought process is, if you're an average person, who's fighting for you? I see people fighting for R.Kelly. People that never met him before, you know, that was touched by his music. You know, I see people fighting to free him, and I see people fighting to keep him in jail. But I don't see anybody fighting for the innocent people or other innocent people that they believe to get them out, to free them. But you know what's so funny? I see a lot of people fighting to free drug dealers. Free Big Meech! To do what? Now, 50 Cent has done a good job at pulling in street elements, pulling in the drugs, pulling in the sex, pulling in the money, pulling in the women, pulling in the fast cars and the party and the power, like packaging it all up and saying, here you go. And we sit back and we say, oh man, you know, even if you're not from the streets, it's like you get a certain type of rawness, a certain type of grittiness, like The Wire, like all of these Oz, like all of these other shows that we've watched that ordain the black community, that ordain the urban struggle, the generational curse. It's like, oh man, we so hooked, we're so, you know. And here's my thought process. If you're a man that promotes violence, you're selling drugs, killing people, and you go to jail, I be scratching my head when I hear free such and such. Me personally, I'll be scratching, like, some people in jail that shouldn't be in jail, and there's some people that did all of these crimes, all these heinous activities, deliberately put themselves in harm's way, and the first thing we do is we advocate for them to be free. We advocate for them to be free. Why is that? Why is that? I'm gonna be honest with you in reference to FBG Duck. Dude, prior to what? A few days ago, I didn't know who the hell he was. Right? So when I heard, I'm gonna play it in a minute, fair use. But when I heard that he was murdered, right, I wanted to find out, okay, he was a rapper, Chicago rapper, or whatever case may be. So I'm listening to his music. I listened to King Von because I really didn't know him. I listen to Motree, I listen to Pop Smoke, I listen to the music, and nothing is advocating having a conversation. Everything is advocating killing the next man. Everything is advocating living the fast life. Everything is advocating violence, sex, drugs, money, power, my respect. I heard somebody say this person was a real one. A real one would have got you out the streets. A real one would have told you put them guns down. A real one wouldn't have been selling drugs in their community. That's a real one. That's a real one. Mama Duck, to be honest with you, I don't know. See, here's the thing. This is why I say people having kids. You know, not that she's a young person. The fact of the matter is our society have our grandparents acting like they in high school. Acting like they're in high school. If 5 of my children were taken by the streets, I want y'all to hear me. And I'm hoping that she's listening. If 5 of my children were shot down, the last thing that I would be online doing is joking on motherfuckers, is roasting motherfuckers. I would be sitting down somewhere probably advocating we need to stop the violence. We need to put down the guns. We need to have the real conversation. Some people don't learn their lesson. And that's why I can see why this generational curse of black people killing black people, of I'm gonna stay in this area even though all of my children are being slain. That's the real violence. That's the real abuse. Imagine year after year, you're losing your children. I just think that you would talk different. I just think that you would talk different. Now listen to HassanCampbell. I'm also going to play that too. And he was talking about how, you know, these drug dealers need to be held responsible, how these gang members need to be held responsible, whatever. And I'm gonna be honest with you, I it's probably for clout in regards to HassanCampbell, but I agree to a certain extent. We do need to start holding them accountable. You watch them slowly destroy your communities. You watch them on the corners. You watch them beat people up and extort people. You watch the real life power, the real life empire, the real life BMF. You really watch that on TV, like Whack 100. You really watch these gang members online talking about who they gonna kill and what they gonna do. And it's like, share, subscribe, share, subscribe. And it's just like so mesmerizing until you the innocent bystander out with your kids and get caught up in some fuck shit. You out driving, going to the gym, going to Walmart to get your kids some milk. And all of a sudden somebody think you somebody because you in the same type of vehicle or because you wearing a hoodie on. That gotta be them. And they start shooting at your car. But they didn't know that for some reason your kid was with you. They was in the back sleeping, or you was picking up your kid from your mama house or whatever because you just got off of work. But then I see the protest about free such and such. Free such and such the killer. Free such and such the abuser. Free such and such the drug dealer. Free such and such the violator. Like, free, this is who you want to free. This is who you want walking around. Keisha says R.Kelly was set up. Yeah, you know, we're not, you know, again, you know, we've talked about the R.Kelly situation. You know, and I think that we've come to a common ground here on the Tough Love channel or whatever. So again, to the R.Kelly sympathizers, to the people that, you know, don't believe R.Kelly's story and believe that he was set up, and to the people in the middle that, you know what I'm saying, see it from both sides. You know, it is what it is, you know what I'm saying? But I just noticed when it comes to promoting freedom, that it's not for everyone. You know what I'm saying? That there are average Joes like you and I that have, you know, hey, you did such and such, and there's no outcry to free them. There's no worry about freeing them. See what I'm saying? Because it's easy to me, if I'm an R.Kelly sympathizer, you know what I'm saying, and I believe that he was set up, and I believe that X, Y, and Z, I'm probably gonna go get with this organization that their job, or they have a list of people to free. Stay with me. They already have a list of people that shouldn't be in jail, that should be free. I'm gonna join forces with them. And while I'm promoting one, I'm gonna promote all. I'm gonna promote all. But see, that's the problem that we have. You know what I'm saying? If you're not a celebrity, if you're not someone that was in the public eye, you don't get recognition. You know what I'm saying? Nobody cares about you. We came through this big, I mean, not that racism is gone. Well, I don't think racism is gone, but trust and believe that, you know, especially during that Jim Crow era, you know what I'm saying? We had a lot of people going to jail for simplistic stuff that never got out. You know, they're dying old people in jail. And my thought process is there's no real push to get those type of people free. I was watching this documentary. I forgot the name of this damn documentary. And it was showcasing how people went to jail on technicalities, just being around, just because you know, the officer or the detective didn't like them. They planted evidence. They said they was here because they didn't have money for a lawyer. It's just all types of shit. And my thought process is, celebrities, they be having all of this money. They showcase all of this power and network ability and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. I'm just imagining the average person, the average home, right, in America, right? They don't have $10,000 disposable money. So if something was to happen, the opportunity to go get a good lawyer is slim to none. It's slim to none. How many people right now can tell me of an organization that provides you lawyers for free? Good lawyers. Don't worry, I'll wait. I'll wait. I'll wait. But some of these celebrities have enough money for 3 and 4 lawyers. Look at the Brother Polite situation. 3 and 4 lawyers. Good morning. Good morning. You got 3 and 4 lawyers, and some people in the hood can't afford one. They got to go with the public defender. And the public defender, since their caseload is so strenuous, they're telling you, go ahead and plead guilty, and you get a 2 to 5, and you probably be out, you know what I'm saying, in a year for good behavior. But here's the thought process, right? How many people are going to go to jail and not fight? Stay with me, y'all. You got people that go to the movie theaters and can't sit through a movie without starting some shit. Can't go to the club without fighting. So that whole good behavior shit is gonna go out the damn door. I think there's a lot of people understand where I'm coming from and what it is that I'm saying or whatever case may be. But I'm so tired of seeing these mothers, you know, and these fathers, you know, they always want to protest after the fact. And you know the money that they're using to pay your house, you know the money that they're using to buy your cars, the money that they're using to buy your jewelry, the money that they're using to send you on these lavish trips. It comes from street violence. It comes from drugs. It comes from doing illegal shit. And instead of you having the intestinal fortitude to say, I'm not going to accept any of that money, I don't want it around me, because I know what you're doing to get it. I know you're going to pay a price for it. And where the money go, the violence go. And then all of a sudden, when the violence shows up, see, here's the thing. As long as the violence don't show up, we good. We living our best life. As long as the violence don't show up, the money can come. You know what I'm saying? And I blame you motherfucking parents for this bullshit. Because here's the thing, as long as your son and your daughter from street violence and drug activity and all of this other crap that they use, as long as they can pay your sorry ass bills, because that's what you did. You had kids so they can go out to the streets to pay your bills, right? As long as they can get you that brand new Benz, as long as they can take you out to the beauty salon every week, to the barbershop every week. I got rims, y'all, new rims. You flossing and living your best life. But the minute the violence come knocking, now somebody done killed your baby. You was cool when your baby was out killing other people. You was cool when the money was flowing in. It was cool then. But now when the violence catch up, when it's your son's turn, when it's your daughter's turn, now put the guns down, y'all. Everybody put the guns down. That is the most reactive bullshit that I've ever seen in my life. Now I've watched this FBG Duck's mom in conversation or whatever case may be. I've seen very little stop the violence. I've seen very little I had a part to play in this bullshit. As a parent, it is your job to try to keep your children as safe as possible, to help provide some standards and morals. If your children are on Instagram flashing guns, throwing up gang signs, talking about how much money they making, smoking weed or whatever case to be, ladies and gentlemen, as a parent, there is a failure. There's a failure. Keisha says, you also have great public defenders out here as well. It's not about the money all the time. It's about how well some attorneys love what they do. And you know what? Hey, Keisha, I hear what you're saying. The issue is that regardless of how much you love what you do, you can't be in all places at one time. You won't, no matter how good you are at multitasking, you ain't gonna be able to save everybody. So I get what you're saying. Yes, they're all public defenders are not bad. All public defenders do not suggest that you take the time that the judge is given because they're being lenient. I get it. You're exactly right. But you know what you just did, Keisha? You know what you just did? You added balance to this conversation. Thank you very much. That's what I'm talking about. Not having that one-dimensional message, but having balance. You just added value to the conversation. And I'm sure there's some other comments, and I'll check the playback, but I'm sure some other people in the comments adding value to the conversation. All public defenders are not bad. I'm saying based on a lot of their caseloads, especially in bigger cities, the amount of people, it is very hard to be attentive, 100% attentive to one case. But I get it. I totally understand, and I appreciate that. I'm just a little baffled by the lackluster energy that we have for all of these kids in the streets, for all of this violence that's going on. It's like, I'm gonna be honest with you. When's the last time you seen someone who children was not murdered advocating for stopping the violence? When is the last time you seen one of these big YouTubers advocating for stopping the violence? One of these celebrities turned YouTubers advocating for stopping the violence, like doing something before the violence start increasing. It don't have to be off the name of somebody who got murdered or killed. It's like, look, hey, this live is all about saying, hey, let's just put the guns down and learn how to talk. I would rather, hey, you from the south side, you from the north side, hey, meet at this boxing ring and we're gonna get in this ring and we're gonna box it out. When do men start being men? We always talk about men in relationships. We always talk about women in relationships and their responsibilities as good wives and good women and good men and good husbands and boyfriends and girlfriends. We always talk about that. It's like when it comes to the parents, it's like, man, what can we do? God, I gave him something to eat. I brought him some clothes. I'm a good mama. I'm a good daddy. The minute that they was old enough to reach the stovetop, you let them go. You let them go. You didn't lose them to the streets. You gave them to the streets. You knew the environment that you had those kids in. Year after year, murder after murder. Come on. It kills me to hear somebody say, oh, 3 people died in that house. 4 people died in that apartment complex. 6 people died. And I'm just like, why ain't you moved yet? All the PP loans, all the child tax credits, all the tax returns. We got money for weed and cigarettes and alcohol and going to the club and new cars and hair and makeup. We got money for all of this, but not to get our kids to safety. You the motherfucking problem. You want this tough love? I'm about to piss somebody off. You want this fucking tough love? You the fucking problem. How many of your kids, how many of your daughters have to be taken advantage of? How many of your sons have to be slain and daughters have to be slain in the streets? How much weed, how many bullets and guns and how much nonsense do you need to see in order for you to say, nah, we need to do better? Before something happens, we need to do better. Somebody say, hey, Mario, you know, it's naive to think that you're saying that these parents ain't sit their kids down and try to put them on a straight and narrow. Okay. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, I wouldn't want to lose any of my children, period, to any type of nonsense for any reason. But I'm telling you right now, if you think that I'm going to stay in a location where there is constant death, There's constant violence. People are going live, standing on a corner with goddamn Dracos and all types of shit, showing guns. Oh, I know that. That's Martha Ethel's son. That's little Neek, little Trey. And you know that your son or daughter is around these people, and you don't do nothing to move. You don't. Hey, get your shit and get in the car. Get a U-Haul, and I'm gonna get whatever little IKEA Section 8 furniture we got and throw that shit in there, and we leaving. Fuck that. We got a cousin that live over here. And they don't have to be ducking bullets at nighttime. They can go to Walmart and wear whatever color they want. They can go to the north side, the south side, the west end, over here. See, the thought process is people are so infatuated with the projects. Folks are infatuated with this life of, you know what I'm saying? Hey, bro, let me get a dime bag. All right. Hey, good looking. They so infatuated with it, bro. And I'm telling you, man, as a person from rough communities, right? As a person that's been, in juvenile detention homes and foster homes, 20 years in the military, like I've encountered a lot of crazy shit. So when I sit down and I see things, I come from an honest perspective. And my thought process is, how many children do you has to die before you decide to act? Before you decide, our condolences go out to the men and women that are lost, the children that are lost in this violence, in this game of foolery and fuckery. Our heart goes out to them. But here's the issue. The issue is that there is no level of prevention that is working. There's no level of prevention that's working. Yeah, we talk about R.Kelly, the artist, and we talk about, this person as a celebrity, and we talk about this, and that's great. That's, kudos to them. But my thought process is, you really think that from President Obama, all of these, from Oprah Winfrey, all of these people with all of this money, all of this power, why don't they go clean out these neighborhoods? If you are a criminal, you are stupid as shit. If you are a drug dealer, you are stupid as shit. If you're promoting any violence in the fucking streets, you are dumb. Because I'm about to play something that really showcases there is no loyalty amongst thieves. And at any point in time, the U.S. government can come in and take your ass out. Because here's the thing. You go get big guns. And of course, there's strength in numbers. Listen to what I'm saying. You go get big guns, and of course there's strength in numbers, right? No rappers have proved to me yet that they can handle themselves. They either go to the morgue, go to the hospital, or go to jail, or a combination of all three. Nothing glorious about that shit, but living in the moment, and at any moment can be taken out. And the fact of the matter is, anybody around you can also be taken out. Spitting, I see you. She came here with all caps. Nothing glorious about that. So my thought process is, at what point in time do you say, before we lose another child, before another bullet hits a stray person, a bystander that has nothing to do with it, before these acts of violence go ahead and keep on roaming around and affecting and penetrating this community, I'm a leave, or two, I'm gonna do something about it. What you don't understand, that the U.S. government, we do a lot of talking about the U.S. government and what they're doing. It is nothing for them to send in FBI, DEA, ATF, local police, military, and wipe and clean all that shit out. And get your knucklehead daughter and get your knucklehead son, and some of you all are in cahoots with the shit, so you having them sell the drugs and promote the violence right outside your house. So imagine somebody that let's say they move into your neighborhood or whatever case may be, and they say, yep, in that house they selling meth, in that house they selling crack, in that house they selling weed, in that house they selling guns. And they give the police your address. Do you think the police need to come knock on the door to find out who all in the house? 9 times out of 10, people don't change their routine. They don't change their routine. Every Thursday night, all of these people are over there in that house right there, right? Or every night by 9 o'clock, everybody in there, right? They all go to this club. They all wear the same, oh yeah, they all wear the same type of chain. They all get the same type of tattoo. I'm just trying to tell y'all what the real is, right? Every time you go live and you got guns, you identifying everybody, how big the room is, how many exits there are, how many people in there, what type of guns you got, because that's important too. We got automatic guns, we got shotguns, what we got. Ladies and gentlemen, there are agencies solely dedicated to making sure, not that they stop the violence, but they know where the violence is coming from. If the government wanted to, they could come right now and pull your son or daughter, hell, all your kids that's wrapped up in that street life, and lock them up. And then we'll turn around and hear you say, free such and such. So my question still stands. Free them to do what? Free them to do what? You have an opportunity as a parent, as an adult, as a citizen, as a community leader, right now to go live and have a conversation. This goes for the fucking Kwame Browns, for the fucking HassanCampbells, for the Tommy Sotomayors, for the Minister Jacks. This is the opportunity right now to say, hey, listen, put down the guns. Let's stop all the violence. Let's stop all of the negativity or whatever. So y'all be killing me when I see grown men beefing online. Like, it be blowing my mind. Because this is the shit that's important to talk about, to stop this nonsense. Fuck all the reaction videos. Let's start really reacting. Let's start really being proactive. Let's start really doing something. There's no challenges being sent out to none of these platforms that start saying, let's really have a conversation. I don't give a fuck who you beefing with online. I don't care. People are dying in real life. There are kids being shot and murdered in real life that didn't do nothing to nobody. Innocent bystanders. There are children being taken advantage of that didn't do nothing to nobody. Innocent bystanders. We're not teaching nobody nothing. And the fact of the matter is, these parents that are losing their kids, they sound delusional. Nothing, listen, 5 of your children got murdered and you haven't went live yet to say, put down the guns and I'm leaving this city. This city has taken too much from me. Too much has been taken from me. At what point in time do you say enough is enough? 1 kid, 2 kids, 3 kids, 4 kids, 5 kids. How about 0 kids? Somebody asked me, they can't really, they asked me and kind of told me at the same time. They said, I can't really tell what content creators you like and what content creators you don't like, because you kind of give, what I give is tough love. That's what I give. Because my thought process, I'm going to sit down and I'm going to say, you know what you're saying, you got to point to, hey, kudos, congratulations, or whatever. But at some point in time, I'm going to expect a certain type of behavior as a man. At some point in time, I'm going to expect a certain type of behavior as a woman. But I'm going to be honest with you, man. I've seen so much negativity on social media. Just being retired from the military and just really having time to kind of analyze certain things. And it's not building us up. And when I say us, I'm not just talking about black people. I'm just saying people in general. It's not building us up. It's separating. It's dividing us. And the thing about it is, a lot of people say, man, I'm just worrying about my own little lane, my own little world. And the thing about it is, that's great. I get it. I understand. A lot of people can't handle what they can't control. And a lot of people don't try to handle what they can't control. And that's not what I'm trying to tell you. What I'm telling you is that we spend a lot of time promoting negativity. We spend a lot of time supporting the shit that don't matter, talking about the shit that don't matter. So when you're giving that view, you're giving that like or that share to nonsense. But here's the thought process. Are we having a conversation that's going to keep our children from being touched? Are we having a conversation that's going to build up men and build up women, that teach people not to be overly emotional, aggressive, to keep people, to say, keep your hands to yourself? Let's stop doing this domestic violence. Let's really have a conversation. Let's listen for understanding. Let's be patient with one another. So when I see a mother talk about, I lost my kids to the streets, but you did nothing to move to leave those streets. There are plenty of safe neighborhoods. Let me be the first one as a black man in America. There are plenty of safe neighborhoods. Why didn't you find one for your children? Why was that not your priority? Hey, I'm going live. I'm looking for a safe neighborhood because I'm tired of hearing these gunshots. I'm tired of my kids getting beat up. I'm tired of the gang violence. I'm tired of the abuse. I'm tired of the nonsense. Like, we ain't tired enough. We ain't lost enough. That's the conversation. When do we get to a point where we feel like we've lost enough and we want to salvage everything that we got left? The time with our families, the time to prosper, to be an entrepreneur, to travel, to go to the gym, to write that book, to make love in the rain, just to live our best life. We live in our best life in the worst conditions. We just trying to make it. We just trying to make it. And people are so scared to have a real conversation, bro. It kills me. Oh, you should go do a collab. Man, I ain't reaching out to nobody to do a motherfucking thing. Because half of these guys, let me tell you something. Half of these guys are clout chasers. Half of these guys can't stand on their own. Half of them can't give a real perspective. Everything has to be a reaction video. So I'm not here to say, well, let's team up and let's do this. It's great that you got a positive message or you think your message is positive. But at the end of the day, we're doing so much to talk about celebrities. I'm talking about the average at best people who really need help, who really need support. Because I don't know about y'all, man, but my black ass been through some shit. And like, I just came from the gym. Like, I'm so happy to be able to wake up. I'm so happy to be able to hug my children. I'm so happy to be free. Like I try not to take it for granted because I know people that are not in this predicament. They waking up, they ain't cutting on no lights because there ain't no power. They ain't washing their ass because there ain't no water. They can't hug their kids because something happened to their damn limbs. They can't see. Like it's so many things to be thankful for. It's hard to watch people not be positive. So either I have to be a reminder or I have to be a rattler. I have to rattle some cages. And it's not to disrespect anybody, not at all. Not at all. But it's to ask people to say, be more mindful of your blessings. Because it could be worse. And then when your blessings get taken away, your children are getting taken away. Your friends are getting taken away. Your loved ones are getting taken away. People are getting taken away. And you're telling me that I need to worry about a reaction video of what a motherfucker said about some sports? Beefing online? This is my reaction. Okay, grown man. Okay, grown woman. People are reacting to life. No direction, no help, no support. And then I got people saying, free these damn gang members who did nothing on the streets but violate innocent people. That's who you want free. We so delusional. We so delusional. Because half of these people say, hey, you know, I'm not in a gang. I don't support gang violence or whatever case may be. But just to be down, I'm going to say, hey, free such and such. Free this gang member. Yeah, I know they kill people. In these courtrooms, I don't know if you guys are following this, you know what I'm saying? But, you know, Spit and Fire, the plainest Jane, you know, I've seen a lot of other content creators in reference to having like transcripts or whatever it could be. So I kind of got into this mode of, you know, seeking public record and looking at transcripts and reading stuff or whatever. You know what they doing to these gang members? To your sons and your daughters? That's on the gram, showing how they belong to this gang and they belong to that gang. This is what they're doing. They're playing to the jury and showing the jury their Instagram lives, their Twitters, of them having certain types of guns, hanging with certain gang members, surveillance of them at certain houses and certain clubs. What do you say to that? Well, I was just there trying to be down. I was just trying to be a part of the lifestyle. My son was a good man. Your son was a jackass. My daughter was not a hot girl. She was a very decent girl. Your daughter was trying to live her best life in the worst conditions. But you know that. Now, either you all the way delusional or you blind as shit. Or you benefited from it. Let's listen to this. Fair use.
Down O Block, the death of Chicago rapper FBG Duck and the 5 new arrests in his case.
We are here today to announce charges in a federal indictment that was unsealed this morning, which charged 5 individuals with federal crimes relating to the August 4th, 2020 murder of Chicago rapper Carlton, who's also known as FBG Duck. That indictment alleges that these 5 individuals were members or associates of the O Block street gang. And the indictment further alleges that these individuals murdered Mr. Weekly as part of their effort to maintain or increase their position in the O Block.
October 13th, 2021, the FBI, DEA, and Chicago PD executed several arrest warrants within Chicago's notorious O Block, a low-income housing complex made infamous by murders, popular by rappers, and targeted by the U.S. government. Nobody knew what happened, if anyone was shot, or if anyone was arrested, until Ashina Weekly broke the news through social media.
They got their ass. I want to be the first to tell y'all. They got them mother. They killed my son. I done forgave y'all all mother. Ready. I done forgave y'all. Now I can come to court against every last one of you mother.
Miss Weekly, aka Mama Duck, is the mother of Chicago rapper FBG Duck, who was 26 years old when he was shot and killed back in August of 2020. 2 vehicles pulled up on Oak Street in Chicago's upscale shopping district at 4:37 in the afternoon. 2 men exited each vehicle before opening fire in front of the Dolce & Gabbana store in what was described as a brazen gang hit. According to Duck's mother, Duck was shot over 20 times and can still be seen trying to get off the ground, fighting for his life as bullets had struck his neck, chest, and groin. A 28-year-old female who was with Duck suffered 2 gunshot wounds to the wrist after firing back at the attackers as she was licensed to carry a firearm. A 36-year-old man who'd been standing by Duck when the hail of gunfire erupted was shot in the lower back and side. FBG Duck was pronounced dead within a half hour after the shooting, dying after his second surgery. Mama Duck would take to social media, announcing 4 arrests had been made, alleging the 4 men were responsible for killing her son, as law enforcement searched for the 5th, who was already in the custody of the Cook County Corrections. She'd go on to name Muwap and C-Thang, even stating O Block member Zell Munna was named as a shooter by law enforcement.
They just called me and told me they arrested Muwap, they arrested C-Thang, they arrested Two more, 5 people that they have in custody. The little boy who killed himself August the 24th was one of the shooters that shot my son. They just told me that too.
19-year-old Zell, whose real name was Ezell Rawls, committed suicide back in August of 2021, a year after the murder. He was the blood brother of old block members T-Roy, Heck, and Slutty, who'd all been killed by gun violence. It isn't known what made Zell kill himself, but rumors are making their way across the internet, speculating he may have been haunted by Duck's death and couldn't live with knowing the role he played in the murder. Others speculate he may have snitched.
Let's hear what another content creator said about how we should fix all of this gun violence and black on black crime and, you know, free this person and free that person. Let's listen. Salute.
What up, y'all? It's
Fair use, fair use, fair use, fair use.
So, HassanCampbell has finally came up with a solution. He's finally came up with a solution, right? This is hilarious. This is hilarious, and this is idiotic, and this is insane, and it's crazy because his solution he's not going to do. I want y'all to hear it from the horse's mouth, right? His solution, he's not going to do it, right? And the people that are in his chat cheering him on, they're not going to do it neither. But this is all I've been asking for. This is all I've been asking for. I've been asking for a solution, right? And here it is. Let's hear it.
We know who the shooter is, so why play military mind games and take it out on the corner stores instead of going dead directly to the gang-banging bastard's house, knocking on his door, and getting his mama evicted? Or his little dusty Section 8 ass girlfriend evicted out of the neighborhood. Because it's evil. Let's stop playing games, right? It's evil we gonna clean, because they say, oh, HassanCampbell, you ain't got no solutions. I'm gonna tell you the solution, right? Here's the solution. Let's get to the solution. Stephanie, here's for your Sunday sermon highs. Keep your foot on these haters' neck. Thank you, family. Appreciate you.
Let's hear his solution. That was the first solution. That was okay.
Selena,
that was okay, but where are they going to go? Where are they going to go? Where, when you get them out of the section, where are we going to take them? They're going to go somewhere else and just do it somewhere else, right? Right, but here goes the other solution.
You know what's so funny? Like when folks be demanding solutions. You know what I'm saying? And not there. It's not that it's anything wrong with what French Doge is saying. Salute to him. But people want you to give them everything from A to Z. They want you to give them everything from A to Z. Give me the full solution. They don't want you to start the process. They don't want you to start the conversation. They don't want you to be patient enough to listen, to understand. They want, it's almost like if you solve one problem, how can you make it harder? I think right now we should be in a state of mind is, how can we solve problems and create solutions together? How can we work together? It's not on one person to give solutions. That was my concern about when I was seeing the low key versus Kwame Brown. It was like, yo, we want solutions. We want real solutions. We want real solutions. And then, you know, what's the end state? What's the conversation? And my thought process, it's not on a celebrity to give you solutions. It's not. And we rely too much on these politicians, celebrities, and pastors to just show us what we need to do. Now, I think that we need to have conversation. We really need to have some real conversation about what we need to do and formalize a game plan. That's what I think. Stop relying on people who have some type of celebrity status or subscribers to give you the solution for life. That's too much. You giving someone too much authority over your life, when sometimes it just comes down to a simple right and wrong. Simple common sense.
Everything that we have been taught, we have to erase. Everything that we glorify in the streets, we have to deem our enemy.
Yes.
There has to be an internal war in the hood, in the streets, from within us as a people. Okay. We have to get rid of these fucking gangbangers. Okay. Yep, I said it.
He said
we have to get rid of them.
So we gotta kill them, right?
Because at this point in time now, they are the AIDS within our body. Okay. The gangbangers have become the cancer within our bodies. Okay. You know what cancer does, right? It attacks your cells, your organs, your livers, and then it kills you from within. Until we get rid of the poison in our community, we are doomed. You can't fight anybody until you fight that war within yourself. The war starts within you. And our hood is under siege by ignorance. We have to get rid of these celebrities that they have you worshiping. Where you feel like these celebrities can't do no wrong and you can't say shit about them. In order to solve the problem.
Hassan Campbell, I do not always agree with you, but I do believe in giving people flowers when they say something I believe hits the spot. You're right. When you have a certain level of likability, people, of course, they're going to navigate to you or whatever. But nobody is above reproach. It is interesting when I see people to say that, you know what, I'm gonna do these reaction videos, but they always react on a positive note. Like it's never them questioning anything. It's no real perspective. It's just I'm in praise mode. I'm in, you know, whatever you like, I like. Whoever you dislike, I dislike. And I'm just like, bro, that's some bandwagon type shit. Like at no point in time do it ever sound like you standing on your own 2 feet. Everything is like cheerleader mode. So my thought process is, what happens when we hold celebrities responsible like we should hold our family and friends responsible? Because here's the thought process. I see a lot of people that say, okay, I'm a celebrity and I have a certain status or whatever case may be, yada, 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 yada. But I don't really see them like doing anything. Like you got to think about the Jay-Z's and Beyonce's and this politician and that. Like you got to think about all of these people, the Puff Daddies and Master P's. Like these people who have created wealth and great for them, right? Great for them. But you got to see all of these people that's created wealth. What are they doing for your communities? I want you to think about that. What are they doing for your communities? Salute. Have a good day. What are they doing for your communities? The rich get richer, ladies and gentlemen. The rich get richer. So while you're worried about what they're wearing, while you worried about who they married to, how many kids they got, what car they just brought, what trip they not worried about you. Let me tell you something, man. I have been around the world. And I'm telling you right now, based on the circles that I've been into and the people that I've talked to, I've never heard a rich person say, I care so much about the little guys. Like I've never heard Rick Ross say, I care so much about the people in Dade County that live in the projects. I'm about to go renovate the whole projects for them. I hear them talking about how bad it is. I hear them talk about how to, you know, the murder rate and, you know, these young boys out here wilding, these girls out here wilding, don't know themselves. But I don't hear them saying, we about to go in here and clean this shit up. We about to build a new projects or a new subdivision. The rich get richer. They're not worried about you. They're not worried about you. I don't give a fuck if they celebrities on YouTube. I don't give a fuck if they celebrities wherever. They're not worried about you. But we as people, we so worried about them. We live vicariously through them. We living our best life. Whatever you say, when you're taught to think for yourself, When you've been through some shit, you understand the value of your own thought process. Because men fail and women fail. Not just men lie, women lie. Men fail and women fail. And the thought process, especially when I see these men doing these reaction videos, and they never give a real perspective, it's just my reaction to this, my reaction to that. Everything can't be a motherfucking reaction. Some things you have to be goddamn, hey, listen, fuck a reaction. We gonna talk about this. I'ma start the conversation. I'm gonna be man enough to start the conversation. Man enough to say, we're holding you accountable. We're holding you responsible.
In the hood is simple.
I don't
Every
ever
shooting
think you all
that's going on in the hood, we know who's doing it.
Yeah.
We know what set is doing it. We know what set is wrong with
You were
it.
getting ready to do
the
it
other
too.
set
Not that long
hold
ago with
the
your fake
gang
gun.
leaders accountable. When you start grabbing these gang leaders and giving them life in jail for the bodies of the 15, 14, 13-year-olds that's being murdered in the streets, when you start locking them up and giving them life biz in jail, I guarantee you the leaders of the gangs is either one, they're going to get away from the gangs, or two, they're going to put their muscle down. How you say blood in, blood out? Well, it's time to start blooding out. If you can't lead your army, if you cannot lead the sect that you have created, then it don't belong to you.
This is what he's promoting. So we get them out the hood. Right? We get them out the hood. I was with them there, right? But still, it doesn't matter if we get them out the hood, right? If we move them somewhere else, then we'll just follow them, right? The thing, there is no way that we will be able to.
Okay, French Dose. Salute to French Dose. He's another content creator. You guys go check him out. The other guy was Hassan Campbell. He was doing commentary on that. You know, I like to kind of give everybody their 5 minutes of fame or whatever, especially if I'm playing that commentary. So salute to that. This is the issue, French Dose. The issue is that a lot of what Hassan Campbell just said, I totally agree with. If you are out here saying that I'm a thug, I'm hard, I shoot people, I take, it's no prisoners, I don't care if you with your family, I'm taking you out, yada yada, you deserve to be in jail. You deserve to be in jail. If your rap docket is how many people you done killed and how you will kill again, you deserve to be in jail. It's not surprising to me when you get murdered. Do you hear me? It's not surprising. No rapper that has been murdered in the last 5 years have went out in a blaze of glory. But we continue to make music that glorifies killing people in the same fashion. Riding down on the op. I got my strap in my lap. Nobody died but you. I don't give a fuck if you from Chicago, New York, LA. Listen to me, young men, young women, right? Nobody is dying except the person that was rapping. Nobody was bigger than the bullet. Nobody had enough guns or enough people around them to stop somebody from coming for them. But they the hardest in the videos. They smoking the loudest weed. They living their best life. They always drunk. They always in the fast cars. They always got the jewelry. They always twerking. They always loud. It's a hot girl summer. I'm a bad bitch. And nobody dying but the person that was rapping. Nobody. And the people that's killing them are just like them. And then you turn around and say, free such and such. I asked this question and I'm going to continue to ask this question. Free them to do what? Take advantage of you? take advantage of your children, violates you, violates your children, violates your loved ones, make it hard for you to go out and just have a good time with your family and your friends. Can you imagine bumping into somebody at a club, and because, you know what I'm saying, you spilt a little drink on them, which is easily wipeable, which will dry in probably the next 5 or 10 minutes. But now you got to go get into a shootout because you spilled the drink on someone and they wouldn't take an apology. Or somebody is having a bad night. Somebody that needs to prove something to somebody else, so they make you a target. Every time these rappers get killed, I'm gonna tell you, when we talk about the media, spitting fire, check this out. We talk about the media, right? And how the media corrupts us and sends the messages that, you know what I'm saying, that kind of alter our thought process. Here's your thought process. Every time you have one of these rappers that get killed, you know what they do? They play clips of their music. And you know what all of them are doing? Holding guns, smoking weed, in cars, twerking. Like everyone has the same algorithm. Everyone has the same look and perspective. Everyone has the same objective. It ain't motherfucking media. It ain't media. You make it easy for a motherfucker to be like, well, that's the fuck shit they was doing. That's the fuck shit that they're doing. And what the media does is just package it and hit play. They don't edit it. They just play your shit that you willingly go do. You willingly in the video smoking weed and shit, holding the guns. The baby is not a role model for your kids. Meg Thee Stallion is not a role model for your kids. That's your job, parents. Cardi B don't even want her children listening to the music that she makes. Listen to me. Oh, we blame it on the media. No, these people are getting money off of promoting fuck shit that they willingly promote, that they don't even want their children to see. Salute. I see you, Trail TV. I want you, listen, if you are a content creator, or you know a content creator that can have the tough conversation, ask them play this video. Ask them to break up what it is that I'm saying. Even if it's a small clip. I want to hear you guys, and tag me in it so that way I know you guys going live. I want to hear your perspective on this. I want to hear your perspective. I want to do like somebody did for me and help to add balance to the conversation. There's a lot of people. Okay, Spitting Fire, I got you. Y'all go check out Spitting Fire as well. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm not knocking what other people do and what they don't do. I'm saying that if you didn't know it was important, let me be the first one to raise my hand and say, this shit is important. There's a conversation out there that needs to be had. And when I say conversation, that's representing multiple layers of conversation. But this whole FBG Duck situation, him getting murdered or whatever case may be, he probably was a cool guy to hang out with or whatever case may be. He probably was, a loving guy. But the fact of the matter is, what I'm saying, he represented a lifestyle. He was a part of a lifestyle that the end result is jail, murder. That's the end result. And my thought process is, how many times do you do something to where you continuously roll the dice and hope that you don't crap out? This is a constant thing that's happening, not just in Chicago, but in a lot of places, especially in your inner cities. Now, of course, you have some murders in the suburbs and, trailer parks. I'm just talking about the inner cities right now, and I'm really focusing and honing in. Because can you imagine these content creators not worried about beefing with each other, not worried about what celebrity is taking a shit? brushing his teeth or washing her hair. And we really focus on the violence within these inner cities and why people are not moving from these inner cities. Why are they not saying FBI, DEA, ATF, local police department, come in and clean this shit up? Now, a lot of people say, oh, they in on it, that's why they don't want to clean it up. Well, here's the thought process. Where are all the videos saying stop the violence? Where are all the parents that did not lose their kids, but no kids that have been lost, saying stop the violence? Those videos do not flood my timeline. Listen to what I'm saying. A lot of TikTok bullshit. A lot of old people on goddamn social, 40-year-old, 50-year-old, doing TikTok challenges, but ain't nobody saying stop the violence. Why is that? Is that mass media? Is that the government? We deflect our ass off when the answer is right in front of our face. Nobody's stopping this video of me saying stop the violence. Where are y'all videos at? Where are y'all videos at? We quick to run out there and hashtag free this drug dealer and free this child molester and free this and free that and free all these people. But the innocent people that we know for a fact, that's why there are organizations out there that have a list of names, that have a list of case files, that read the transcripts. Ain't no free them. Ain't nobody promoting the freedom of that. Me personally, I'm saying if I'm an R.Kelly sympathizer, right, spitting fire, right, I'm gonna say, okay, if you truly believe that R.Kelly should be free, right, I'm gonna find an organization that promotes the freedom of people that's been put in jail that shouldn't be in jail, and I'm gonna promote the whole thing. I'm gonna promote the whole agency. You see what I'm saying? Balance, right? Or if you think that, hey, R.Kelly is guilty, if that's what you think and that's how you feel, and that's your perspective or whatever case may be, there are other people out there that are innocent but didn't have money for 3 and 4 lawyers. It's a tougher conversation. It's a tougher conversation. It's easy to go with the status quo. It's easy to go with the status quo. Again, I say this, and I'm gonna be straight up. Okay. I don't think I'm making no more R.Kelly videos. You know, I think that there are, like I said, R.Kelly sympathizers out there that do a great job at breaking down whatever they need to break down for their perspective and their narrative. There are people out there that don't like R.Kelly despite how good his music was, and they break down their narrative and their perspective. But there are some people like myself that's on the middle that kind of see both sides and say both of y'all got a point. Yeah, both of y'all got a point. The fact of the matter is, I see a lot of people that are locked up in jail that don't deserve to be in there, that have nothing to do with the shit that's going on with R.Kelly, but there's nobody advocating for them. So I would be remiss if I didn't say anything about that. So for the people that like R.Kelly, the people that hate R.Kelly, I want to keep that in mind. I wanted to throw that and drop that in the middle. Who are the people that's advocating for the people before R.Kelly even went in jail? Think about it. Before he even went into the jail, who are the people advocating to get these other people free? Is there money available? I see a lot of people getting donations and this and this and this and this. Is there any money going towards their books? Is there any money going towards getting them lawyers to get them out, get them free? Because there are organizations that are out there that specifically have case files of people that say, hey, I'm innocent. I don't hear that conversation, especially on bigger platforms. I don't hear it. They talk about Lil Nas X, they talk about Westbrook, they talk about this celebrity, they talk about this commentator, but they don't talk about the average people because it don't matter. If you get locked up, it won't matter to them. It won't matter to them. Yes, I definitely have to agree, Spitting Fire. Spitting Fire says, hey, the Innocence Project, definitely. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I mean, again, if you're a content creator and you listen to me or whatever case may be, you know where you fit in at. You see what I'm saying? Like everybody off the top of my head or whatever. But it's great that you're active in the comments right now and you're saying, hey, you hear that on my channel. You hear me saying certain things on my channel. And I give it to you. Again, you add balance to the conversation, and I thank you and I appreciate that. You see what I'm saying? But I'm saying that there are other content creators that don't do that. There are other content creators who have bigger platforms that don't do that. So the question is that, well, if we're not having a real conversation and we're not doing the tough conversation, then what we doing? Fuck shit. Bullshit. That ain't building shit. Again, I'm going to give you your flowers and I'm going to applaud you while you're alive so you know that you should be appreciated and validated, and I'm going to give you that affirmation. But if I see as a man that you ain't doing the shit you're supposed to do, then I gotta say something. If I see as a woman you ain't doing the shit you supposed to do, then I gotta say something. And this is not about checking nobody. This is about saying I realize that there's a tougher conversation to be had. I see it. I feel sorry for those parents that continuously lose their children or their loved ones to domestic violence, to gun violence, to black on black crime, to bullshit. Oh, I was just minding my business going to the store and I got shot, Mom. I went to a house party and they put something in my drink, Mom. Oh, I was just standing there in the video. I ain't really had nothing to do with it, but he went live, you know what I'm saying? And his friends started pulling out guns and shooting in the air, but I ain't no gang member, Mom. We laugh it off, we joke it off, and we start talking about this frivolous nonsense on social media as if it's important. The thought process is, if the youth has to say, this generation has to say, well, if you don't care about us, we don't give a shit about acting right. We don't give a shit about listening to you. You're not a leader, you're not a provider, and you're not a protector. As soon as I got old enough to make oodles and noodles, I was fending for myself. Some of these parents have these children and they can't wait till they're old enough to fend for themselves. They're not going to give you any common sense. They're not going to give you standards and morals or whatever case may be. Ladies and gentlemen, my condolences to FBG Duck's Mama Duck, that the fact that she lost her children. But I'm telling you right now, I sit back and I listen to certain people talk, and they say if you talk long enough, you know what I'm saying, you're going to tell people two things, right? All the lies and all the truth. And I'm telling you right now, I've never heard this woman say anything about moving her kids away from crime. I never heard her say anything about saying, I've tried to get my children out the streets. This is not an overnight process. They wasn't born here and was 20 years old here. This is overtime fuckery. This is generational curse fuckery. And there's a lot of parents that are just like that. That are just realize how dangerous it is to say, you know what, instead of saying, oh, they finally got the people who murdered my son. Ladies and gentlemen, I've listened to her son's music. I've watched the videos. Nothing about the music or the videos advocates stopping black on black crime. Nothing advocates putting down guns and not promoting gun violence, not promoting drugs. Nothing advocates for that. So your son can promote violence, but you don't want anybody to promote violence to your son. Nah, that's not realistic. That's not realistic. On this channel, I don't tell victims how to grieve. And I'm definitely not going to tell parents how to handle their grief with the loss of their children. But I will say is, I am tired of seeing people promote a narrative of we didn't know better. They act like they didn't know better. And that's what we do. From the content creators to the celebrities to everyday citizens, we act like we don't know better. We act like we don't know that there's a better conversation, that we can spend our time doing better shit, that we can actually build a community. We can bring ourselves together. We don't have to bash this person. We don't have to call this person's name. We don't have to promote gun violence and domestic violence and children being touched. Like, let's beef online. What we beefing about? The fuck are we? What's the problem? What's so big of a problem that we can't meet right now? What's so big of a problem that you can't pick up the phone and say, bro, I'm not with the fuck shit. Like, if you really want to do something, let's do it. But I'm not with the back and forth. We want to be right. And it's at the expense of our lives. It's at the expense of our time. And it's at the expense of our family members, our friends. We want to be right. We want to be heard. We want to have the attention and the validation of people that don't know us. We're dying to be somebody. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm MarioJaye. This is Tough Love. I appreciate your time. I appreciate your energy. I am challenging men and women to be men and women. Adult up. Peace.